Developing now, a 15-year-old is now charged with homicide as an adult. He was the sole survivor of a triple shooting last month that left 2 other teens dead.
This happened in the middle of the afternoon inside a Northside McDonald's. Bill Mistlin live at 49th and Hampton with new details that you've learned. Bill, what do you got?
Good evening, guys. 3 people were shot, 2 people were killed, and now 1 person charged in that shooting. Police say it all started stemming from an argument, and that the shooting happened but just mere seconds after people walked inside the restaurant, and it was all caught on surveillance video.
Nothing can stop them now that they've been emboldened. A crowded restaurant such as McDonald's, with dozens of potential witnesses, employees, and customers. Everyone knows there's cameras inside of the McDonald's and outside of the McDonald's. There's absolutely nothing that can be done about this other than a crime bill. Nothing. And those of you who are still on the fence, kind of like, well, they're parents and they need to raise them. Man, they need stuff to do, man. Give them more activities. These kids don't listen to their parents. The kid that shoots up a McDonald's, do you think he's the type of kid? Mom says clean his room and it's done. Go do your homework. And then wash up for dinner. Like, that kid, that's not the kid that listens to his parents. Y'all gotta stop with these weird mindsets, man. Weren't y'all kids before? Like, think about when you were a kid. You remember the bad kids? They used to call them hoodlums. Delinquents. Remember those kids? And they would get the key, that they would lock them kids up and throw away the key. Imagine those kids in a world where you shoot up at McDonald's and you're out on bond the next day. Or no bond, they just don't have, the city doesn't have bail, so they just let you free. Like with an ankle monitor. You promised to stay in the house, right? Well, you know, it's shit. If they had parents, if they had this, if they had that, we need better. None of that stuff matters, man.
Good evening, guys. 3 people were shot, 2 people were killed, and now 1 person charged in that shooting. Police say it all started stemming from an argument, and that the shooting happened but just mere seconds after people walked inside the restaurant, and it was all caught on surveillance video. It was a sunny, clear Saturday afternoon. Then calls started to come in.
49th and Hampton, West Hampton on 49th Street.
A shooting inside the restaurant. All of them teenagers.
I've got kids myself, so it's horrible.
At the time, people who live nearby at a loss for words.
Just no guidance, and it doesn't seem like they care about too much anymore, which is really sad.
A 16-year-old Javarius Fowler was killed, shot in the chest and back. 15-year-old William Harrison died at the hospital 2 days later. He was shot in the head. 14-year-old Robert Johnson shot in the neck, armpit, chest, and groin. Last week, Johnson turned 15 years old. On Tuesday, he was charged with killing Fowler. For more than a month, little was known about what spurred the shooting inside the restaurant. Police said it was because of an argument, which is the leading cause of homicides and non-fatal shootings in the city.
Now, don't let that go over your head, man. All right? The leading cause of homicides is arguments. Okay? And do you want to see who's dying from these arguments in Milwaukee? Off to the gun memorial. Now, this is the gun memorial, all the fatal shootings in Milwaukee. Okay? The last one they have a day for is, I think, the 20 something. But look at this. Even the ones they don't have a picture for. Look. Sharon Moore. Kevon D. Callahan Freeman. Clarence Walton. Devin R. Gildart. Tamaris K. Smith. Marcus Mandel Harris. So all of these, even the ones where there's no picture, okay? All of them. Most of these people died because of an argument. And then you got this one unlucky guy, God, 19 years old. 19 years old. Sailor. A Navy sailor from Arizona was shot and killed trying to protect someone. The 19-year-old veteran was visiting Wisconsin when he was gunned down in the street. The search is on for whoever opened fire. Phoenix Castanon left his small town of Eager in eastern Arizona for the military life. He joined the Navy last year, which was something important to his family. To know that he wanted to follow in my footsteps, his dad was also in the Army. He comes from a military family, his uncles, his aunts. So it was a proud moment, said his mother. The Arizona native was based in Illinois. He had the weekend off, so he traveled to visit his girlfriend in West Allis, Wisconsin. But the sailor would never make it back home after he was gunned down in the street. Just heard the pop and the tire screeches, and then all of a sudden we heard the screaming and the help, said witness Sheila Basile. I didn't think it was true. I don't know. I was in shock, added his mom. Police say Castanon witnessed a man harassing a woman from a car. Oh, my God. Walked up to the man's car to confront him. During the argument, investigators say the man pulled a gun, shot, and killed Castanon. Ock Nation, citizens of Ock Nation. This State of the Union, man. This is the State of the Union in Ock Nation, man. You got shirtless Ock here, man. So you know it's serious, man. Shirtless Ock, man. State of the Union address. Don't do this, man. It's not your lady. Don't do this. Never do this. Period. If you have a problem, call the police. Okay? Call the police. Never do this. His mom says, there was just no reason for that. There's no reason for him to shoot my son. To me, that's just so cowardly. To use a weapon to take a child, my child's life, after the argument was already done. Castanon's mom says, her son Phoenix, was known for his big heart, always sticking up for others, including his family, especially his 15-year-old sister and his 19-year-old brother. They're hurting. They're trying their very best to stay strong, but they're just as lost as I am and as lost as their dad is. The sailor's mom says she and her son both said they loved each other during their last conversation, but he sent a text just hours before he was shot asking her what she wanted for Mother's Day. Again, residents of Ock Nation, never do this. If you got a problem with what that guy's saying to that woman, you got a cell phone. You can call the police. Duck into a store, duck around the corner, duck into a breezeway, something. Don't let them see you calling the police. Don't tell them you calling the police. And just call the police. My God. Jesus Christ. Every single person on here, except for that guy. My God.
For more than a month, little was known about what spurred the shooting inside the restaurant. Police said it was because of an argument, which is the leading cause of homicides and non-fatal shootings in the city. Court documents don't say what that argument was about, but that all three boys had handguns. About 15 minutes before the shooting, Fowler was seen entering the restaurant along with two boys and a girl. Police don't know who they are still. 10 minutes later, two people, including Johnson, come inside. Police say video shows Harrison enter, holding a gun, and points it at Fowler's head. Fowler pushed it away, walks backwards, and pulls out his own gun. Seconds later, police say Johnson or Harrison shot at Fowler first, who then shoots towards Johnson and Harrison. Harrison collapsed under a booth. Fowler ran to the exit, but collapsed in the doorway.
Every command, be advised we do have 3 patients.
Now, an arrest warrant has been issued for Johnson, and I did speak with the mothers of both Fowler and Harrison, and they dispute what police say happened in that surveillance video in the criminal complaint. Reporting in Milwaukee, Bill Miston, Fox 6 News.
Bill, thank you.
Killer on the loose in Milwaukee, and the victim's family says the man wanted for pulling the trigger should have been locked up at the time.
Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson shows you why one of Wisconsin's most wanted criminals keeps getting caught, then released, and the one factor that makes this case different from the Waukesha parade attack.
It doesn't take a sophisticated assessment tool to see this person is dangerous.
Complete menace of the city.
The trick is measuring that danger in dollars.
Money, ultimately, at the end of the day, does not equate to safety.
And that explains why Kenneth Twyman is a wanted man. Again.
It makes no sense whatsoever to me.
This woman, we'll call Mary, is worried.
We don't know Kenny's next move. And that's a fear for us. That's a great fear.
That's why you're talking to me in the dark here.
Yes, exactly.
Last month outside the Quick Mart near Fond du Lac and Locust, someone shot and killed her nephew, 24-year-old Tavon Luckett.
What happened? What happened?
Her confusion turned to anger when prosecutors charged Twyman with homicide.
4 outstanding warrants, 4 felony open cases.
Who's like me, man? It's hard to feel sorry for this sister, man. Like, if there were 1,000 elections in the next week, she would vote for the Democrat in each one of them. Knowing nothing about the candidates, she would reflexively vote for the Democrat in each one of them. If this guy Twyman, who allegedly killed her nephew, if he hadn't killed her nephew and gotten an interaction with police and a 20-second clip of the interaction was put on Twitter of, out of context after like 40 minutes of dealing with this, you don't know what. A 20-second clip of the police manhandling this guy who allegedly killed her relative. She would be marching and protesting. The only reason she's mad at this guy is because he killed a relative of hers. If he killed someone else in the community, she would have nothing to say about it. It's getting very, and then she can't even show her face. This is the community she's created, but she can't even show her face. I'm sorry, man. I don't have any sympathy, man. I'm running out of it for these sisters, man.
In 2018, police say Twyman led them on a high-speed chase, crashed into an SUV with a mother and 3 young children inside, then ran off into the darkness. Inside his car, police found a half-pound of marijuana, cocaine, heroin, scales, a gun, ammo, and 7 mobile phones.
My God. So those are phones. People say, why does he have 7 mobile phones? Okay. So they have these boxes where you can just put a cell phone in and get $100. They're all over the place. They're I forgot what they call, but they're little boxes. So these guys go around and steal. Like a guy like him, he'll just go around. He'll see your mom somewhere, or your grandmother somewhere, your granddad, or your uncle somewhere. Clobber them upside the head with the butt of his gun and take their cell phone. It's an easy $100. So that's why I know a lot of y'all could understand all the other things, but a lot of y'all probably wondering, 7 phones, that's $700 right there, man. That's an easy lick, man.
Including one that contained videos so concerning.
Never seen such reckless behavior in my days.
Twyman quickly became one of Wisconsin's most wanted.
U.S. Marshals are asking for your help locating this 19-year-old Milwaukee man.
After Fox 6 News featured Twyman's story in December of 2018.
Tonight, that suspect is in police custody.
U.S. Marshals picked him up in Arkansas. A Milwaukee judge set bail at $3,000 cash. And a few months later, Twyman was out.
He was free to wander the streets in Rome, to do whatever he wanted to do.
Since then, he's been in and out of jail, skipping court at least 6 times along the way.
All right, man. Listen, man. If he got in an interaction, a viral interaction with a cop, and grabbed the cop's gun, beat the cop up, did anything, and the cop retaliated or tried to, use the force continuum, you use force against the cop, they use great. If the cop in any way had done anything to this guy in a viral video, 99 out of 100 sisters you would ask about this would say, well, he was scared. That's why he grabbed the cop's gun. That's why he beat the cop up. That's why he tried to run out, when the cop was trying to cuff him. Listen, do these look like the actions of someone who's scared of police? Does this look like the actions of someone who's like, oh man, last thing I want to do is encounter a police. Let me do everything I can to make sure I don't encounter police? Or does these look like the actions of someone that literally has zero fear of interactions with police?
Since then, he's been in and out of jail, skipping court at least 6 times along the way. And in January, U.S. Marshals went to get him again. This time, they found him at his mom's Milwaukee apartment, along with a 9mm handgun, 17-round magazine, 2 pounds of marijuana, and wads of cash.
State of Wisconsin versus Kenneth Twyman.
In a digital recording of Twyman's initial appearance, his lawyer tells the court $1,000 bail is more than enough.
The only other job he has is working with his father at his father's store.
Still, prosecutors wanted much more, and they got it.
I am going to follow the state's recommendation to set the $7,500 cash.
That's a pretty substantial amount of bail, right? $7,500?
Yeah. 4 days later,
I don't want to be on that camera.
This man, who identified himself as a family member of Twyman's, paid $7,500, and he's out again.
To commit murder.
On April 14th, police say Tavon Luckett went into the Quick Mart to get pizza rolls. When he came out, he recognized Kenny Twyman and called his name. A witness said the two men appeared to shake hands before Twyman shot Luckett in the neck and chest.
Hey, what's up, Jack? I ain't seen you in a long time. Oh, man, what's going on? Bang, bang. Right in front of everybody. Just got out of jail for like the 10th time in the last 2 years on bond. Like, how disrespectful is that to the person who paid your bond? Someone came and paid your bond, and the next thing you did was shoot somebody in broad daylight at a crowded gas station. Someone who appears to have posed no threat to you. The guy who paid his bond, guy might have put his house up, or may have put some kind of collateral, his car, something, because you only pay 10%.
4 days later,
I don't want to be on that camera.
This man, who identified himself as a family member of Twyman's, paid $7,500, and he's out again.
To commit murder.
On April 14th, police say Tavon Luckett went into the Quick Mart to get pizza rolls. When he came out, he recognized Kenny Twyman and called his name. A witness said the two men appeared to shake hands before Twyman shot Luckett in the neck and chest, then hopped in a car and rode away.
Did that cash bond keep your family safe?
No. No, it did not. We are still not safe.
We're equating a higher cash bail with public safety, and that's just not the case.
Nick Sainer is co-founder of Justice Point, Milwaukee County's pretrial services agency, and an outspoken advocate of bail reform.
If money isn't going to work, and money doesn't work, then we have to take a look at other options.
But bail reform means different things to different people. The Waukesha parade attack last fall focused attention on low bail for violent offenders, prompting State Senator Julian Bradley to call for minimum bail amounts for certain crimes.
How do you pick a fixed dollar amount like $5,000 or $10,000 and say that's the magic number?
That's not the magic number, it's the minimum. It's the starting point.
Twyman posted a total of $12,500, but still wound up charged with homicide.
When someone needs to be detained, they need to be detained, period.
Sainer wants to eliminate cash bail altogether by releasing most defendants until their cases are resolved, but holding the most dangerous ones in jail no matter how much cash they have.
You're held until your hearing date. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a very good idea.
As it is, Mary says the criminal justice system let her family down, but it's what happened after her nephew's death that rubbed salt in the wound.
You know that he was going to be there via Zoom. I mean, why didn't you go and get this guy?
On April 21st, a Milwaukee court commissioner issued a homicide warrant for Twyman. The next day, he was in court on a different case, appearing by Zoom from his lawyer's office in Racine. The prosecutor knew there was a warrant, but according to Deputy DA Kent Lovern, she said nothing.
It would be in the interest of law enforcement and in our interest to not have that information divulged to a subject who is wanted.
All they had to do was just pick up the phone and make a phone call.
Mary says her family members are grieving, but they are also scared.
Who knows what he's going to do next?
If the system won't hold Kenneth Twyman accountable, she says,
this could turn into a real gun battle. within the city of Milwaukee.
The streets will. Kenneth Twyman was actually due in court in Waukesha County on Monday for a plea and sentencing in a felony bail jumping and drug possession case from 2021. But with that homicide warrant out for his arrest in Milwaukee, of course, he was a no-show here. We're told Milwaukee police have now asked U.S. Marshals to find Kenny Twyman for the third time. In Waukesha, Brian Polson, Fox 6 Investigators.
Kenneth Twyman has retained attorney Mark Richards to defend him in the 2018 police chase and at least one other case. Richards, of course, is best known for defending Kyle Rittenhouse on his way to an acquittal over the Kenosha protest shootings. He did not return a phone call seeking comment.